Vikings currently atop the NFC. They absolutely are contenders. And with that said, the NFL's trade deadline is just over a month away. Should the Vikings look to be buyers? Keeping in mind that in next year's draft, as of right now, they only have 3 picks to work with. They've got a first and 2 fifths. And my initial thought on this subject was, no, absolutely not. Why would you even entertain this? Because the only trade asset that this team has that's worth a damn that they can offer, I'm certainly not looking to trade any players on the roster. The only asset that they have is that first round pick. You trade that first round pick, you don't even have a 2025 draft class to work with, essentially. It would be stupid. But the more that I thought of it, I came to an epiphany. A light bulb went off in my head that basically I said to myself, whatever bullish takes that you have on the Vikings this year, you have to keep that same energy through and through, regardless of the possible chain reactions to follow. What do I mean by that? If the Vikings truly are contenders, if they can make a deep playoff run and possibly win a championship, which I do believe the Vikings have in them this year, that first round pick that we're trying to gatekeep is going to be a bottom first round pick. Best case scenario, 32nd overall. If you're going to be contenders even before making a trade, why wouldn't you want to make a trade to put you over the top? So, actually, I'm in. You want to say F those picks? Just for next year anyway. The first round pick, and even if you want to throw the 2 fifths on top of that, for the cherry, sure. F them picks. And we're going to start with Davante Adams. He's formally requested a trade from the Vegas Raiders, and while the idea of that, adding a guy like Adams with Jefferson and Jordan Addison having the best trio of receivers in the league, sounds sexy, I'm going to say no to that. Because if this was before the season started, where you're at least in the middle of training camp, you can get some practices in and still have a preseason to work with, that's one thing. But making a big addition like that to the offense mid-season, it's going to create a situation to where chemistry has to be rebuilt with the quarterback, Sam Darnold, figuring out Davante Adams' timing, and also Jordan Addison is with Adams presumably taking over the Addison role. Addison, all the plays that he knows by heart, he's going to have to take on a new role and relearn the playbook all over again as the wide receiver 3. There's just so many things that will take time and could affect the team's ability to still win football games. I don't think making a move like that, even for a guy like Davante Adams, is worth it at this point in the year. But then we get to the next guy, to which I'm going to say, hell yeah, absolutely. And that's Dexter Lawrence. Lawrence, I haven't seen anything about him being on the trading block. Anything's possible. You never know. And I'm sure as a Giants fan, the mere notion of this idea sounds preposterous to you, to where you are asking questions such as, why would the Giants trade Dexter Lawrence in the first place? He's the best player by far on this roster. There isn't even a close second. Why would the Giants, in trading Dexter Lawrence, voluntarily want to take on a $21.4 million dead cap hit next year? To which my response would be, why would the Giants voluntarily sign up Daniel Jones on a second contract for $82 million guaranteed over 2 years? Because they're goofy. But in all seriousness, the Giants are 1-3 right now. That's with Dexter Lawrence. And you have 13 games remaining on your schedule for your season. Of those 13 remaining games, I can maybe see you guys winning 2 more against the Panthers and against the Colts. That's it. You're looking at a 3-14 season. And as great as a player as Dexter Lawrence is, The name of the game in all of professional sports is to win. You're not winning football games with or without Dexter Lawrence. You are years away. The way that the roster is constructed, you are, if you're the New York Giants, years away from becoming relevant again, to where once you finally are, Dexter Lawrence, his prime is going to be long gone. He's actually more valuable to you as a franchise, as a trade asset, versus keeping him on the roster for, hey, you know what? One of the great players of this generation, he played for us, and you can sell merchandise. But as far as winning football games, no, you're wasting everybody's time here, not just his, but also yours. Dexter Lawrence to me is like that car meme, that picture of, I don't know if it's a Bugatti or a Lamborghini, whatever it is, surrounded by a dump of a house. And while I do think this is unrealistic, I don't see the Giants budging on any sort of offers that they get. Can you imagine, just for S&Gs, the way that Jerry Tillery has been playing, the way that Harrison Phillips has been playing? Now, plug in Dexter Lawrence to that to make a crazy-ass trio the rest of the way. That'd be nice. I'm willing to give up that first-round pick to put this Vikings team over the top, to where you put all your chips in. It's a dangerous game of roulette, sure, because if it doesn't work out, if it all falls apart, you don't have a draft next year at all. But I'm willing to take on that chance. But a more realistic trade acquisition at interior defensive line, if one is going to be made, I would say is Jeffrey Simmons from the Tennessee Titans. That, if you were to swing and miss on Lawrence, I'd gladly settle for Simmons. But that's really, I can't think of anyone else. That's really the only two names that I would say, all right, this puts the team over the top, that they have done everything possible, at least the front office anyway, to give this team the best chance to win their first championship. F them picks, 2025 draft be damned. You can still make moves in free agency next year. I'd do it. Your thoughts in the comments section below, including any other players that you would add to that list.